1-0, 1-0, 2-0.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're talking about game 3 in this weekend, which was Portland Thorns versus Racing Louisville. It ended 3-0 to the Thorns. And as usual, you guys know that we like to bring new energy into our recordings, maybe even people at the stands or in the stadium. And today we have Denise and Joaquina with us. They were there at Providence Park, which is the big fortress. And we're glad that you could come on to our show. How are both of you doing?
Very good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for having us.
And how was your weekend? I assume it was a fun one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was the first time there, so it was an amazing experience.
Kick off to the end to the rose ceremony. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next match. So I'm excited. Looking forward to international break and then coming back to another win. So good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I have to admit we are a little bit jealous of the fact that stadiums are open there and that you guys can go visit that. I mean, I think that's really awesome. But yeah, let's get right to the match. Of course, both of you are Thorns fans, and we'll get your perspective of the match first. You kind of watched everything live. Is it much bigger in person than it is on a screen?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry. Yeah, you don't get the sense. I mean, the camera always pans to the supporter section and the fans and all, but you don't get a sense of it until you're there and you hear it and you feel the energy. So
yeah, I know that we've been spoiled with being at the comforts of our home and just during the pandemic, just watching it from home and knowing that you forget what that live experience is when you go there. You breathe in the air, you feel it from the crowd, you watch the kickoff, like you see the works go off, the smoke, everything. Like you forget how wonderful it was. Like I wasn't sure if we'd ever have that again, so it was nice to be back.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. The whole, just the idea of Portland without its fans in the stands, I think that was sorely missed last year. So I think it's just phenomenal that, I mean, we're not nearly back to 100% yet, but I mean, I'm just glad that there are that many people in the stands. And I'd love to hear from you in terms of like the capos, the people who kind of, going with the Thorns in terms of how they're back. And what was your experience of that?
We talked to a few people. We're still getting back into society, if you will. So it's a little bit different now. So it's not really sure how to interact with people now. It's odd, but
yeah, you're still not sure if you should still be 6 feet away or how you are. But for me, I was so filled with joy and just wanted to come out. So everyone I saw was like, "Hi, it's my first match. Hi, we're here. Hello, welcome." And then
from a distance,
and then and then other people came like other season ticket holders are like, "Oh, you're gonna love it. Welcome. This is your first like all the attendance there. It was so great. It was also it was a great experience. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overwhelming.
And if you had to just describe the Portland Thorns fans, including yourself, but the entire contingent in the stadium, how would you describe it to a person who's probably never even seen that?
I would say from the moment you step in, like when you walk in the street, like I don't know how your stadium experience is, but when you're walking, the way they have it configured, you look and you see the field before you even step in. So you're already getting pumped for the game because you're already seeing it. You're already seeing the pitch. You're walking around, you're seeing the stars up the big billboard with the display. You're coming in, you see all the fans, and as you come in, even from the national anthem, from how they cheer and how they support, from kickoff, from the way they announce the team, the supporters of love,
there's a lot of things that you don't catch on the TV. One, because it's usually at a commercial break for those things, but the supporters, I mean, as we mentioned, this is our first time there, so you don't see what the supporters do off air, and it's just they are engaged from minute one. Once they get to their seats, they are engaged, and it's just wonderful.
And I know people say, oh, the players are playing their match. They don't know. They feel that energy. They know when the supporters are chanting their name and getting everyone hyped up, and we score a goal, rubbing it in, 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. You know.
A lot of good style.
Yeah, you can't ignore the dancing. You can't ignore the singing. Like, you know it.
we were a little farther away where we got our seats, but so we were able to see kind of the whole stadium. So we weren't as close to the Riveters as we wanted to be to feel that energy and to kind of see what they were doing. But to see it from afar was pretty good too. So
awesome. And of course, getting to the match as well. I mean, they've mentioned 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. There were goals. Racing Louisville has now been on the road to historically NWSL's two biggest competitors, right? Courage and Thorns. Now they've lost both games on the road. I'm sure it's a big learning curve for them. But what did you make of the match?
From their standpoint, they kept playing. They kept pushing.
And we were in the corner. And it was very neutral. There was a lot of their fans too. They're supporting. So they were behind them the whole way, encouraging them. But I'm sorry, we dominated this match. After we beat Gotham 1-0, we came after that loss, and there was no holding back. And like for me, like I was a little worried we didn't have Captain Sinclair there. We didn't have Sophia Smith, but I knew everyone was going to step up. And
it was a huge team performance.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody was waiting for the ball to come to them. They were going to get that.
With no disrespect to Louisville, but we were on it. We were playing at an 11. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and this game, luckily for us in India, was at 8 a.m. So it was a good time. We had got a full night of sleep and we were watching. Romel, I'm sure you were watching as well. What did you make of the game? Romel, you're our NWSL expert. So what were your thoughts from the game?
That's you. Yeah, I think it was a pretty good match. Louisville, for one, definitely looked, there was fatigue all over the team. They weren't sort of chasing, they weren't defending as much as we've seen them in the past. But take nothing away from the Thorns. It was very strange because, it's always rare to see a Thorns roster without Sinclair in it. But for some reason, I think just the ability to play, Salem and Rocky together on that pitch in the roles that they are sort of known for. That I think just sort of brought in some incredible balance. And you saw them really take charge of that midfield, basically. And this is, I think, the second match that we had like a Boston Breakers throwback. And it was so cool to see Salem get that goal because just for who she is as a person, and she's by no means she's like a star name, and but she's just been there and she's been around the game for such a long time. She's pretty much one of the hardworking team members around, and to see her finally get her due in a roster that's as stacked as the Thorns, that's just incredible. So tough luck for the homecoming hero Betos, because she is on the other side of a couple of like two goals that I thought were a little unlucky for her. But yeah, overall, I think a great performance by the Thorns. I think just having these players get a little more confidence, and we saw what they're capable of, even with a roster without, some of the big names around. And I think that's super cool to see again for the league. Just like a Thorn team putting up a show for, their fans back in the stands. And I think tough luck for Louisville, I think. But, I think they've also got like a few pieces coming in, and hopefully they sort of kick off from here, take lessons in terms of, just going to some of the biggest teams around and play them in their backyard. So, great game for someone, just viewing from the outside. My player of the match, I think for me, it would have to be Rocky Rodriguez, because I mean she did score that goal, but she was very influential in terms of what she was doing on the pitch, and where she was both in terms of, the defensive side of the game, as well as, how far ahead she was coming in terms of just on the offensive side. You know,
Yeah.
there was always a secondary run from Rocky that you saw into the final third. And I think that's what also finally got her that goal. So great game for her.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And I mean, just Denise and Joaquina, a word on Michelle Betos. I mean, Portland Thorns had 28 shots. They had 12 on target. So Betos was kept busy all night. And
Yeah.
It's so hard to acknowledge a goalkeeper who's let in 3 goals if you look at it on paper. But she had a fantastic game, didn't she?
Oh yeah. She made some great saves that we were kind of mad about. So yeah.
Fine, it was 1-0 at the half. So
yeah,
it was very close, and they had a few quick plays down, but it was still important for them to keep the clean sheet and keep the defense. And I thought that Weaver and my girl Charlie, they made some great runs, and unfortunately, they didn't get a goal to show for it, but man, they had some exciting plays. And my player would be Crystal Dunn, because she's such a veteran. She plays anywhere you ask her to, and she does whatever you need to on the pitch. And
she definitely causes problems.
Yes.
Yeah. And and I agree about Rocky. She every time I see her play, I'm like, yeah, go get it. Yes. Like she's great.
But overall, it was a great team, and Lindsay putting that in, that shot, like
a swoosh, like
that was De Bruyne-esque right there.
Yeah.
Lindsay. That was a great goal.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it was a very good goal. And you were right, Crystal Dunn is just magic with her feet, isn't she? And of course, since Sinclair was absent, we saw a little more attacking role, that Dunn played, which was, again, we're all for it. Kristen Dunn having the ball for more time on the field, we're happy. I think everyone watching will be happy, except for the opposing fans and the opponents.
And again, we're very spoiled to have Salem and Sarah Braun back there, take nothing away from them. And I thought Klingenberg dominated the right side. No one got back there. Don't even it was pretty sad. She was like, not in my house.
Yeah. So, it's just great to see. It's just it's great to see it in real life, I guess. In person is just, you see a lot of it on the streams and on wherever you're able to watch it, but it's being there was great. You get to focus on different players that you might not be able to focus on when you're watching it on the.
So. Yeah, I think that's a common thread that a lot of guests have told us, that you don't see the people who are off the ball and what their movements are like. Ramal, go ahead.
Yeah, just keeping in mind that you guys are definitely going to catch more games ahead. Any particular game that you have in mind that you would definitely want to be there for?
Well, we want to be there for, to see the rain, we want to see those matches. But, we just moved here from New York, so we want to kind of go and see them play against Gotham in Portland. So
wow.
I think that'd be pretty good. So it's just, we're just excited to see everybody. I've been a fan of women's game for so long, and I've just been wanting to see them play in real life. So I just want to see.
I think we don't have any true rivals yet, because we love everyone. So every every team, so you root for everyone.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want my clean sheets and I want our wins, but I want them to all have good matches on their own. But I hope everyone else has a 1-1 draw, except for when they play us.
Well, before we let both of you go, one last question to the two of you. Let's assume that Portland Thorns make it to the championship game. Who would you think will be present as the other team there, and how do you think that will go down?
Right now it's between, for me, it's between Orlando and Gotham. They're Orlando's clicking right now, and it's
they have the veterans, they have Marta, they have LaRue, but I think if Chicago can bounce back without Julie, I think they're forced to be reckoned with. I think
the whole league is just fantastic, guys.
We keep going. But obviously, we just want our team to play well, and then don't look back. You play well, get to the final, and that's all we ask. So
Fair enough. I should have known after the question that all the teams are going to
Yeah.
But thank you so much again for both of you for coming on. I think it's late night there and early morning here. So I'm really glad that we could fix this up as well. And we'll definitely stay in touch. Once again, thank you for coming on.
Yes, and I think it's great. There's so many more platforms to watch so many matches. It's just so
Yeah.
exciting because you can follow every team. And like you said, you can pick up an 8 a.m. one or, one or 2 a.m. one. How you guys are?
Yeah.
We've gotten up at 4 a.m. for matches. So
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Absolutely.
Support them.
Yeah, we definitely do it for the NWSL any day of the week. We'd be up at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30 a.m. But yeah, thank you so much. And we'll definitely stay in touch. Until then, take care and we'll talk soon.
Thank
Yes,
you. Have a
good
great
one.
day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.